Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel again. I appreciate it. If you got a little bit of a minute, hit subscribe down below. That would help me out. The more I get subscribers, the better it is for me, and the better it is for you, the more content I can produce. So today we're going to be talking about unconditional love and conditional loyalty. Unconditional love and conditional loyalty. Probably like, what is he talking about? Unconditional love. I love my kids unconditionally. But there's conditional loyalty, meaning that when they do things that I do not agree with, rules, and they break the rules, well then there's a chance that means they're out of my house, they lose privileges, those kind of things, right? Those are conditional loyalties. Like for my wife, I will always love my wife, but if she cheats on me, I'm gone. That's conditional loyalty. And that's where we have to separate, because a lot of times what we do is we do conditional love and unconditional loyalty. That's what a lot of us do, especially in marriage, especially with our kids. See a lot in our kids, as they get older and they get in the drugs or they do stupid shit, right? You just keep inviting them back. And that is unconditional loyalty. You can still love them unconditionally, but when you keep condoning and keep letting them act a certain way, that is unconditional loyalty, and that is not good. Because we need boundaries. We need to know that there are repercussions for our actions. It's funny, when I was 2019, my wife, we bought this house I'm in and moved in late 19, and I was in a bad spot in my life. I was drinking too much, looking at porn, just not being the man that God has called me to be. Wasn't being the husband that I needed to be, the father. I had 2 kids at the time, and my wife said, "I love you, but I'm gonna rise. If you're not gonna rise, don't come to this house." And she had unconditional love for me, but it's conditional loyalty. And at the time, I couldn't hear it. I was like, dude, she's being a dick. Because I was so much in my feelings and so much, I was unconditionally loyal to my wife, but I was conditionally loving her, meaning I was loving her when I wanted to, but I was real loyal to her, which is pretty fucked up now looking back, because I was loving myself more than I was loving my wife, in a bad way. I was being of the world. I was letting what the world did, what all my buddies did, what I thought was cool, what I thought would give me purpose, what I thought would fulfill my life. But what I realized was all those things were of the world. All those things were no substance. They were fleeting. They had no value. And once I changed my mindset to, hey, I'm going to create value for myself, I'm going to love my wife unconditionally, and I'm going to conditionally loyal myself. Like when I do shit, I'm going to confess. When I do shit, it's like, yo, I'm done. Because it could be drinking, it could be looking at porn, it could be whatever it might be. Those were my cases, that I was unconditionally loyal to those things because they gave me instant gratification. And once I realized that instant gratification wasn't going to fulfill me, wasn't going to make my marriage better, wasn't going to make my body better, it wasn't going to make my purpose any more clear, and it wasn't for damn sure going to make more money, then I was like, okay, I got to start finding things that add value into me, into my life. And once I started doing that, once I started getting disciplined, once I started stop watching, 10 episodes of Netflix a night, once I stopped drinking alcohol, I'm not saying anything's bad with it, but once I stopped that, I started realizing that a lot of stuff I was doing in the past was not adding any value. I was wasting time. I was wasting what God has given me, this beautiful life, this beautiful gift of time, health, all this other stuff. I was wasting it. I was making myself more unhealthy by the things I was doing. And I was preaching health. I was telling people what not to do and what to do. And I was deliberately abusing my body every day, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. And I thought I would make myself happier, and I wasn't. And so if you're in that weird frame, especially with, I feel like wives have this a lot with their husbands, is they unconditionally loyal. And it's a bad place to be in, because you're not as a wife, you're not promised this life sometimes that us men give you. I didn't, the life I was living in 2018 and 19, I didn't promise my wife when I married her. When I was unconditionally in love with my wife. Everything I promised her in my vows and things I told her before, I wasn't coming true on. And so sometimes, I'm not saying get divorced, I'm not saying any of that, but sometimes you can unconditionally love someone for the wrong reason. And so you can unconditionally be loyal to someone for the wrong reason. I'm always gonna love my wife, I'm always gonna love my parents, I'm always gonna love my family, but I don't have to be loyal to them all the time. If they keep fucking up and it keeps and I have to do things out of obligation for it, I need to cut ties. And so if you're living in that cycle where it's like new, normal, numb, just keeps repeating, and you're like, I am loyal to a fault, and you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror of yourself and ask yourself, why am I doing it? I will always love this person, but I'm gonna put up with their bullshit. And so if you like more information about that, if you have any questions, shoot me a DM, shoot a little message in the comment section. But you don't always have to be unconditionally loyal. You can always love that person. I'm always gonna love my kids. I'm always gonna love my wife unconditionally. But they have conditional loyalty to them because I am not their keeper. God is. And so have a good day.